Okay, everyone, getting my mic set up. I'm gonna just double check that the mic is working. Let's double check this. Double check mic is working. Okay, everyone. Yep, I can hear it. Mic is working. What is important? Let's attach my mic and make sure that I don't fall off and make sure that I stay warm and everything else. So hope everyone is having a wonderful, I believe today is Sunday. Yes, today is Sunday. Sunday. Hello, Mr. Mark. Glad to have you tuning in on this Sunday. Today's episode is I realized it's fun. Because I've kept track of every episode I've done of Let's Feed the Chickens, because I've been doing Let's Feed the Chickens for a while now. It's cool that I'm on episode 427. I do not have all 427 saved, unfortunately, but it is cool. I have a lot of them saved. And it's just cool realizing that I've been doing a Let's Feed the Chickens for a long time now. I do have like the first 10 episodes, which are just hilarious, really bad quality. Really bad at everything. So as you can see, you can't see because I don't have it up right. Little windy. Current temperature is that would be 16, or that is about -8, -8C, 16F, -8. So I'm trying something different. I'm trying to see if I can use LiveJournaler as the thing to post my the little reminders. I don't know if I have it set it up right, so if it posts a whole crap ton, I'm sorry. It's not done on purpose. It's just because I'm trying to understand the technology and utilize the tool that a Vampire Froggy has made. So burr, cold. It feels cold, it looks cold, it's gray outside. Everything about right now is cold. The pond's frozen. So you guys can see, ponds are frozen. Pond over here is frozen. Pond over there is frozen. All of the ponds are frozen. And the wind is making it extra cold. So let's get in and get some water for Lisa so we can make this post haste. I might. Wow, LiveJournal, you are absolutely putting a lot of. I'm not sure if.
So windy out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the quackers are the only ones really.
Okay. Okay, let's get, we're gonna jump in here real fast. We're going to, I need to get the waters. Make sure the lids are off of them. So sometimes the lids stick. So we're gonna, like this one, got that one. See, Lisa left some water in this one, and so we've got frozen water. Actually, I think this actually turned out okay. I just do have to twist this lid off of this one. Got it. Okay. So I guess we're going to do a couple little trips now because we're probably going to need lots of trips. Let's go. Let's find out. So we're going to find out if today the water is frozen or not. So let's go. Okay, so now that I know what to expect for the day, we can start having a conversation about embarking on your dreams, making your dreams happen. So a lot of you out there probably have some big dreams, grand ideas. And my advice is start doing them. I was saying, but Doc, I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Do I look like someone that if I knew how to achieve my dreams and do my dreams, don't you think I'd be doing it? My answer is No, you just have to start is the trick. Is you have to take baby steps, figuring out what you can do to achieve what you want to achieve. It's not easy, but that's what makes it a dream. So I'm reading the book called, it's by Robert Greene. It's about mentors. One of the biggest pieces of advice I'm going to give most of any of the young people or younger people or really just anyone out there in TV land is you should find a mentor. I really wish that I really wish that I would have found a mentor sooner, because there's definitely some stuff with a mentor that I would have definitely made some of the mistakes that I've made. It would have made a lot of them easier. Mentors don't stop you from making mistakes. They just help you get through your mistakes and achieve them quicker. And the other thing that I like about the concept of a mentor is a mentor gives you something to challenge past. You should, the goal of a mentor and a mentee and someone working with a mentor, it's called like a mentee or something, I don't know. I'm just not going to say, we're not going to make up words, is to achieve more than what they achieved. Yeah, I'm going to have to address that live journal thing because it's just not working right. Okay, good to know. I'm glad that I played around with it today. So you want to achieve more than what the master is teaching you. And I think that's how we push a lot of information forward. And I know just by personalness, being just personal views on things, is that I would have very much benefited from having a mentor at a younger age. It would have helped keep me balanced in ways that I didn't know. And I still have this, so, not saying anything wrong with this mindset. Good try, Lisa.
Yeah,
Good try. I still have this concept of trying to do things by myself and try to achieve things without someone's help. That being, doing self mentorship. I still have this mindset. So I'm not blaming anybody for you also having that mindset. Just understand that it's being around someone that actually knows what they're talking about and can help guide you definitely is really cool. It's absolutely worth it. I would suggest, I do know that with some of the stuff that some of the knowledge that I have now, if I can share it with someone younger, or I will be able to mentor someone, that'll actually probably help me grow as well. But totally get why in the past we used to do a lot on, yes, I agree with you, Mark. The mentor is the authority. The mentor is like the shield. It protects you from the bad things that happen, and they let you make safe mistakes. The mentor is there to let you make your mistakes and let you achieve and let you do it in a very safe, healthy environment, and then helps making sure you learn your lessons, because sometimes you make a mistake and you just don't know what lesson you learned from that. You're trying to figure out what lesson you learned from it, but you just can't. That mentor that's there will also help you with the lesson, so you can maybe learn the lesson quicker. The mentor also maybe can take that lesson, can take that mistake you made and add on to it without you actually having to continue to make mistakes. The mentor can say, oh yeah, well, when I did it, you failed this way, but I failed this way. And so now you might not need to fail two ways because you failed the one way. And so now you understand what the failure's like. And then you listen to what the mentor says on maybe how they failed when they attempted to do something similar. And so there's just a lot of benefits. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not too old to find a mentor. If I can find someone, and I'm always seeking out people to find someone to guide me with stuff that I need guidance with, because I think that personally, I think that you should always be trying to learn and grow and achieve awesomeness. I think that there's always something more you can learn. And if and when you do master one subject, you should absolutely, it means that you should take that knowledge and that mastery and move on to a new subject. Even if you're mentoring, because you can be master of one subject, teaching, and be student of another subject, learning. And doing that together is probably what us humans were meant to do. Or if it's not us humans were meant to do it, it's those humans that focus more on intellect than physical. Again, not saying that, if you want to focus more on physical over mental or vice versa, there's anything wrong or right with it, because I think that we each have our callings, and you need to figure out what your calling is and achieve it. But yeah, that's why we're talking about dreams today, is because a lot of us think we give up on dreams, or think that dreams aren't that important, when in reality, there's nothing more important. At the end of the day, unless you are doing something that you absolutely love, the story you tell as an old man is your story. And I know that the story that I'm going to tell when I'm an old man, in fact, even the stories I tell today, are entertaining and fun, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my stories. I like them. My legacy today is still pretty cool. And it's got a long way to go. My legacy's got a long way to go, but pretty happy with the direction it's going. I know if I met me, I would think I'm a very interesting person and want to have more conversations with me. So the snow is starting to fall a little bit. Okay, so LiveJournal is absolutely oversharing today. So remind me, self, or anybody watching this, to readjust the way LiveJournal is sharing the links, the commercials, whatever you want to call them, the shill. Whew, that was close. Almost fell. You guys almost got a good look on me falling, but I try to keep my balance good at an old age. But balance is key. Okay, let's get this water filled up. So right now, I'm kind of using ChatGPT as a way to No, don't block it. Don't block it, because if you block it, it'll actually stop. If you block it, it'll actually stop it'll stop other things from working. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Luckily, when I started doing that slip, I didn't tense as much as I normally do, for that whole reason, because 3 days ago I did that, and right down my shoulder blade, man, I tensed it up bad, and it took a little bit of time to get that loosened up a bit. So no, Mark, I just need the reminder to get in there and have it, and just not use the one, because I thought I kept the Tidy Lab one. Well, it looks like I kept the Tidy Lab one, and I kept the LiveJournal one, And I thought I had turned off the Tidy Lab one, but I guess I didn't. So that's why they're both just Tidy Labs every 7 minutes and Live Journals every 5. So just playing around with just playing around with the tools. It's okay to get it. But what I was saying is right now I'm actually using ChatGPT to try to teach me some things. It's actually really interesting. I really like how there's parts of GPT, and I'm actually building some GPTs myself on how you can have it turn into kind of like an expert and have it teach you. And I think that's a very fun, interesting new way for technology to be used. It's definitely not as good as having a real life flesh and blood mentor that you can ask questions, that can see your mistakes, that can directly interact with you. But using it as an additional tool, I think, is going to be very interesting. So I really like that it can help me read books. So that is a very cool, it kind of does like a Cliff Notes. I think some of you kids call them Spark Notes these days. I know them as Cliff Notes, so we're gonna stick with them called Cliff Notes. So make some Cliff Notes, and it's really, really cool. Okay, I got you 3 waters. I'll bring you some more. Rhythmic, how are you?
Okay, 'cause I'm about to do one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't get any body parts.
I know, I got the tips of my fingers. The tips of my fingers, I got wet and they're a little chilly, so. Wow, okay. That's interesting. That, again, guys. Vampire Froggy has awesome technology. Just because what you see is happening on the screen just means that I don't know how to use it right. But don't ignore the commercials. Just understand that I have too many running right now. Too many of them on there right now. So they're not reading them to me. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that it's absolutely frigid for you there, Rhythmic. So we're a little warmer here than -1F. We are, I think we're at, what did I figure out? What did I say that we're at? We're at 9, I believe. I think I said 9. I don't know. We're going to say 9. 9 sounds right. We're going to stick with 9. So. yeah, -15 and today 1. Yeah, absolutely. But bring out the shorts, ready. I mean, beautiful. 1 freedom measurement, man, that is just beautiful weather. So now, actually, what I really like about cold days like this, and I'll like it once it gets below 0 here, is I like going outside for short walks and taking in good deep breaths of air. There's just something really nice about every once in a while getting out there and just taking nice deep breaths of cold weather outside. I don't like doing it, I'm not saying that you should spend all time outside doing it and things like that, but there is just something really nice about it. So yeah, very nice. Oh, so we need to get Sylvia. I'm warming up my hands right now because I got the tips of my fingers. Wet and they're cold, so I'm gonna warm them up in the. In my jacket. And the reason I worry about so I don't know if you guys, I've told you these stories before, maybe on some of the adventures that we've went on, but I used to play outside a lot during the winter. I like cold. But the tips of my fingers, I don't always feel when they're cold because I played a lot in cold weather, played a lot in ice, picked up ice. Got to the point when I was a kid where they would just go numb, and then I I liked when they went numb because it just meant that I could play in the water longer. It just means I could pick up ice and throw ice and pack snowballs and such like that better. And so as I got older, and because of all of that, I sometimes as an adult don't know if my fingers and I agree with what you're saying there that is probably why I absolutely adore the cold weather, is that clean, tasty, fresh air. So this stream is brought to you by all of the ads that I decided to post and just didn't do the timing right. So yeah. Anyways, I'll let you guys see. I need to collect a good amount of wood, a good amount of hay for Sylvia, because it's cold. And even though she's a big fat piggy, she would really prefer as much. She can have some nice bundles of hay. So let's see if I can get some of this up top today. So we were talking about achieving your dream. So you might be watching this stream and you might be sitting on your Sunday and sitting in your living room. You might be a kid, you might be an adult, you might be just wondering, and you might be wondering, like, Doc, what do you mean? Like, I don't think I can achieve my dream. And I think everybody can achieve their dream. It's just all about baby steps. It's all about figuring out what you actually want, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, knowing what you really want. And not just like, I'm not saying that you want to dream or you want to get your Lambo or you want to do something silly like this. I'm talking like mentioning things like, I like being outside. And just as Lurker mentioned, once you get acclimated to being outside, then being outside is, you don't get bothered by the cold. Or, once you start achieving your dreams and start realizing it is possible to actually start doing the things that you want to do with your life, then you become acclimated to it. And it just becomes easier to do and easier to achieve. And it's just starting off with little ones, Like I hear people all the time saying, I'd love to eat better, but XXX. And I'm just like, well, then eat better. Like, maybe you start off with eating better by going to a better restaurant, or maybe you start making your own food, or maybe you start growing something, or maybe you just not have a Twinkie. And then I have people like, yeah, but I don't really like my job. I'd like a better job. Well, okay, then figure out ways to do better at your job. I'm not gonna be one of those people that says that you need to give 120%. Never give more than 100%. Actually, I'm even telling you, don't ever give any more than 99%. Always keep that 1% for yourself to recharge. But it doesn't mean that you can't make yourself valuable and make yourself cool and make people want to be around you, want to work with you. Like, hey, being with that guy, working with that dude, working with that chick, it's pretty cool. Like they know their shit. They're kind of fun to be around. They get the shit done. They're not a workaholic, but they're not a stupid lazy. And so maybe you can start off with doing that, so look for jobs, take risks. We live in this world right now where no one seems to take enough risks. I'm guilty. I'm absolutely guilty at it as well. So that's why I said I don't know why. Maybe it's because life is actually so good, which is interesting, because if life was really as good as I'm trying to portray it to be right now, you'd think people would want to take more risks. But I think we got comfortable. We got comfortable, fat and lazy and bored. Maybe we didn't get bored. I've been reading a lot about how maybe we should be more bored. So It's funny. I 100% agree with that. But growing up in the Midwest, growing up in the Rust Belt, growing up as a steel worker with my dad as a maintenance mechanic, my dad and my grandparents and all of my family would always say, give 110% to your business. And that was my mindset for such a long time, is 110% for anything that you do. And as I got older, and as I got older and I thought about it, it's just like, if you give 110%, then that means that you only have 90% to give next time. And that means that, you're not giving yourself enough time to recharge. You're not giving yourself anything. So even, I hear the gurus, the business gurus, ones that say you can make your first million in 15 days or all that kind of stuff. And I think to myself, like, one thing that they forget to tell us is they have a lot of tools to make their life easier. They maybe have assistants, they maybe have a team, they may have something else. So maybe they're doing 80 hours for the first couple weeks. But as soon as they find a new tool to make life easier, or they find an assistant, or they find a helper, they are not putting in that 80 hours in the way that they say they are. So I'm kind of anti-work. If you, yes, I do. Yes, it's I need, I'm not sure if you're talking about me or you're talking about you, but there's some stuff in here I do need to clean. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed it. Some of you might notice, but what was I saying? Anyways, yeah, so the idea is, so when I say I'm anti-work, what that means is a little different than what other people means. What I mean by anti-work is you should be doing something that is your legacy, something that you are going to be proud of, something that you enjoy doing. It's just something that I think that you need to be doing something that you're going to be proud of, a legacy. Now, maybe what you're going to be proud of is you want to be known as the guy that fixes the stuff. That's okay. You can fix things if you're going to be the fixer and you just want everybody to know that you're the guy that fixes it, or you create some awesome project, or like, I want to teach people stuff. Like, that's okay. Like, those are dreams, those are passions. That is perfectly fine to do all of. It's just, I think the concept is it's all about, maybe service is a better term than work. Like, because like Mark just said, work for who? I think the question is who are you serving, and why are you serving them? Are you serving somebody that is a mentor to you, that's teaching you, that's helping you become a better version of yourself? Are you serving a higher concept? Are you serving yourself because you're trying to better yourself to make yourself more desirable to those around you? And that's where I think service is fine. I like the concept of being fit to serve, is that you have to find a way to be fit to serve. So yeah, again, the term work, I think it's the negative connotations that I have with the word, because there's busy work exists, and pointless work exists. And I can't think of busy service or pointless service. There can be service that you are doing that is maybe not being utilized properly, but I wouldn't say it's so that's just the way, that's how I'm going to say. Like, for example, we're talking about where he was mentioning about the dollars and working for service and food. I would say that if you're out in your garden and you're doing something, you are doing a service because you are creating something. You are a creator. You are cultivating. Like working with your animals is more like serving your animals. You're keeping them alive. You're making sure that they have the best lives that they can. Or even if you're not doing any of that, you're making sure that they're going to produce you the best crop possible, or that they're going to make you money, or they're going to make you food. Same thing with the plants. If you're growing plants, you're not really working the ground. You're serving the ground. Again, I think the whole I'm going to go back to this whole concept. We're going to talk about this concept of work. I think work is, it depends on what definition you're using. I think serve is what we should be doing, because when I'm out in the field, like we mentioned, when I'm out there in the field and we're quote unquote working the ground, you're really just enhancing it. You're making it better. You're not, you're actually just, you're serving it. And let me explain to why the reason you're serving it is because you are enhancing it. You're putting things into the ground to make it better or to make it more effective. There are plenty of things that you can do in the workforce where you're actually, yeah, I mean, just pointing out, like, there's plenty of things that you can do that are called work that aren't making things better. I mean, you can serve, yeah, but serving is a choice. I see what you're saying there, but serving is a choice. Like, you're choosing to serve. You're choosing to enhance something else. And that is really what the purpose of everything that we do. It's about enhancement. So you want to enhance your life. You want to enhance the soil. You want to enhance. Yeah, that's interesting. I will give you that. Work and worship. It depends on. Yeah, so if you work the soil, you are worshiping the soil. So I guess if you look about worshiping the soil and you're working the soil and you're using under that definition, I can see that falls in the category of service. Again, like I said, we're just throwing ideas out there. You guys are just we're bouncing around in my head trying to see ideas. This concept of working for the man, maybe working for someone that doesn't respect you, that doesn't do. Okay, well, Kamak, with that definition of work, that also sounds like service to me. So, again, this is what's so fun about English. And I guess maybe that's the thing, is it all depends on your personal relationship with the word work, because like all words that we've had in the English language, they have been misunderstood, they've been warped, they've been controlled. So, guinea pigs, I can imagine. I can imagine the guinea pigs would be. So, okay, let's Sylvia's probably wanting some hay and doesn't want me to sit out here and philosophize with you guys forever. She'd be like, well, I don't know if I agree with that statement. I don't know if life is nonstop for work. I think nonstop is, I have to think about that, because you have to play. You have to play. If you want to view play as a form of work, that's fine. But if you don't play, you will just burn out and die. Done. Children have to play. That is how children function. Playing is a form of learning how to, you don't work an instrument, you play an instrument. So, you don't go and watch a work, you go and watch a play because it tells a story. And stories are about play. They're not usually about work. So there's a balance. I agree with that, Mark. I do agree that service and work is about sacrifice. Yes, it also can be again, like we were saying, that's the problem with the word work. I'm still sticking with the term. I'm still going to call myself anti-work because I like the way it sounds and I like the message that it tells other people because I don't want to be a cog in the machine. I don't want any of you that are choosing that don't want to be cogs in the machine. If you want to be a cog in the machine and that's what you see something is important to you, cool. But I don't want to be a cog in the machine and I don't want anybody that doesn't have to be a cog in the machine because we don't need to be cogs. We can be creators. So, and a creator can be, creating something can be as simple as, well, that's because I think, Mark, most work today isn't about delayed gratification. Most work today is to do somebody else's, is to do something that somebody else wants to do so they can get delayed gratification. Yeah, me and the machine don't get along very well either, hence the reason I live in Appalachia. I need to fix, Sylvia knocked down her fence over here and need to fix this. You guys want to see what I'm fixing. So Sylvia, if you look right here, there is a pallet that Sylvia knocked down. And it's probably not going to be pick upable because it seems like it's frozen to the ground, but we're going to find out. Got it. Okay. We'll go say hi to Sylvia since we're already in her pen. She might want to say hi to you guys. So let's go say hi to Miss Sylvia. Right, Miss Sylvia? You want to say hi to everyone? I'm actually going to not 100% agree with that statement. It's a temporary have to situation. Because you can go out there and do something like, let's say that you actually enjoy digging a ditch, or you enjoy fixing computers, or you enjoy making something. That can be your job, and you're still and you're enjoying doing it, and you're making the money. Because I'm not saying I'm anti-money. I'm just saying I'm just not this kind of work that we have. And so you can be doing something you can serve something else. You can be giving something to someone else. You can be creating something and making things and not have to be always working. That's cool. That's awesome. Have you ever grown kombucha or tried anything of that sort? Kombucha is one of my favorite things to grow. You know, I don't actually think everybody wants to own land. I don't think everybody actually wants to own a house. I do think a lot of people do. Um, well, that's only because of the modern time that we live in right now. We used to have a lot more. Okay. I actually think yeah, that's really what it is, Smock. I think that that's more of what it is. It's I can understand. There's a lot of people that might not want to own things, and I'm actually okay with the lack of ownership, because when you own something, it also owns you. Just to keep in mind, like, I want to point that out. There's a reason why sometimes in the past people were happier when they owned less. There's a reason why in poorer cultures, when they do things, they're happier because they own less. I think that lack of ownership is fine. The problem is that our current society is very inappropriate, and we don't allow we, that's cool. If you should I actually think they're happier. Like I do. I think they're happier. I've known some folks that I know some folks that are minimalists, and they don't have to worry about things, and the time, and all of their time is their own time. And that's one of their arguments that they say, is that they don't have their stuff. But their time is theirs, and they get to do with what they so choose. Fish can pay rent if you raise the right kind of fish. I used to raise fish. Guppies, it is unbelievable how expensive, and how people just always regularly like to buy guppies. So, yeah, I'm just thinking about... Yeah, I think, but I understand, but I really understand what you're saying, Mock. Is the thing is for those of us that want to own things, we should be able to do service. We should be able to do things for other people, and be able to get reasonable things in return. And we should be able to do that. And folks that don't want a lot of stuff should be able to practice that lifestyle as well. But right now, it almost seems like the system. So there is a... Yeah, and so let's I want to mention one thing to Angela first. Guppies, I don't know if you've priced guppies, but guppies in a grocery, guppies in the pet stores, like, and guppies guppies, the reason I'm just picking on guppies because it's what I know. So guppies go for between, like, you can get if they're a nice fancy tail guppy, they're almost like between $3 to $5 at the store now per guppy. And guppies breed like rabbits. And guppies don't require the type of filtration that cichlids do. That is true. Cichlids do require, when it comes to the tanks and such like that. I've never... Nobody want... Okay, well, it must be where you live, because they cannot keep guppies. They down here where I live in southern West Virginia, they can't keep, like, everybody wants guppies. There's actually quite a few people that sell them on Craigslist and such down there, because you can never find them in the pet stores down here. So it's just, I think it's regional. It's probably just regional. Another fish that I used to sell a little bit was different types of Cory catfish. Cories are up to about $10 a Cory now. So, but I understand cichlids are. Yeah, I think it's probably regional. That's what it must be. It must be regional because, like, for example, I mean, that's true because I know other places where parakeets go for crazy money. People like up in Ohio. I had an aunt who was able to sell. Okay, I don't know if you heard anything about parakeets, but I just mentioned a quick thing about parakeets are regional too. Down here, you can't sell parakeets worth of crap. Yeah, I think there's probably money in dog. I mean, there's money in shrimp. There's money in shrimp too. There's money in lots of stuff. It's all really about finding the right market. Like a lot of the stuff I make, like Lisa makes fresh bread and she makes gluten-free cookies that don't taste like they're gluten-free. And when she's down in Georgia or she's down in North Carolina, awesome. Around here, no one's buying gluten-free anything. So, I mean, I'll just put it this way. Like, I had a tough time selling eggs for a while because no one would want to buy my eggs, even though my eggs were the same price you get at Walmart. People just didn't want to buy farm fresh eggs. So I get it. Yeah. Yeah, uh me and my dad's talked about feeder shrimp. The problem with the feeder shrimp is the winter is to having to rebuy that every winter because, the winters are so cold. I mean, heck, if I could just get down to good at bees. So, I mean, if I could just get into doing bees properly, there's big money in that. It's just I haven't quite mastered that down yet either. So again, there's niches depending on where you live and what you do and what you like. Every community has something that someone's not filling. You just need to figure out if you want to do that or not. And again, this goes back to the dream. I think one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard, it comes from a song that came out, but actually it was a song based off of something else. Let me tell you about a little bit about rental homes in just a minute. I want to tell you this story first. We did rental homes we did for we did rental homes in Akron, Ohio my entire life. Actually, we still have rental homes, and rental homes are great until you have one bad tenant and that tenant brings the whole system down and like destroys the house, and you're not going to sue them or anything. Vacation rentals seem to be what I would consider probably one of the best. And I'm not talking Airbnb vacation rentals. I'm talking like real vacation rentals where Okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk like this because if the mic keeps cutting out, it's probably dying, so. Yeah, my mic was dying, so that's why it keeps muting. So I just need to charge it. So we're just going to talk to the phone, and this should solve most of the issue. I wish I could talk to my glasses. It would make it a lot better, but for some reason, I just can't. Yeah, a vacation rental, what I was saying, vacation rental is the way to go. That's one of the, and not Airbnb vacation rental type things. I'm talking like real vacation rentals. I also mentioned camping, camping of all sorts. Also very good, very profitable. There's lots of ways. There's lots of good ideas out there. Again, that's what we were just talking about. Look, we're bouncing quick ideas off of each other. All of us got different ideas. We're all from different regions, and there's really cool different ways to do different things, you know, and you just figure out what works best for you. If I was in the city and I owned some land in the city, I would start renting out allotments, like little gardening allotments, and helping people come up with ways, and maybe even like they get a garden plot, and then, you know, let's say, hey, and you know, if we had like a little like allotment set up, and you could hire, you know, some people that are going to run your garden for you, and then you get the yield from them, and you just pay a little extra on top of your camping stuff, and you're getting a yield, and other people are getting the experience of gardening. And I mean, that's one of my business ideas that I thought would be great, but it's one of those things you kind of have to do in the city, can't really do out here. So just there's tons of great ideas. Yeah, I'm going to do camping. I'm going to do camping here one year. I'm going to figure it out. There's some complications that I have right now, but we're going to figure it out. I want to do primitive camping. I want to do tent camping, and probably pull behind and RV camping, kind of the mix of all three. That's what I'm working on. I mean, I also want to start a, you know, intentional community as well one day. Yes, I agree. I boarded horses for, I did actually board horses for a couple years. The problem is I don't have a good barn, so I pastured horses. I also pasture cows up on the mountain behind me and in some of the fields around me every year. So I work out a deal. I pasture cattle and such as well to make some income during the summer months. I mean, I'm also trying, like, for those that want to know, like, I'm also trying some of the I'm starting a print on demand, like, Etsy store, and just, you know, trying lots of ideas. It's all about trying different ideas. I mean, my number one passion in life is really just to get my nonprofit and being able to teach people, because that's really what I want to do. Is I really just want to teach people how to farm and garden and be outside and enjoy life and just be the best version of themselves as possible. Like, I'm going to teach some now that I have these classes and such, I can teach some wildcrafting classes and such like that, which I'm very excited about. Very excited. There's a lot of stuff this year that I'm very, very excited about, where it's going to lead in the directions we're going to go. I should go check on Lisa. Let's go see what Lisa's doing instead of me just sitting here talking to you guys out here in the cold. Let's see where Lisa is at. I think she's already got the ducks. I mean, I think she's already got the bunnies. I think she's probably in the handy run. So let's go see Miss Lisa in the handy run. Miss Lisa, how's it going in here? I got Sylvia a bunch of hay.
Okay.
I put it in her house. I put it in her house for her, so she didn't have to drag it in. She was eating, so it was just easier, and I fixed the fence that fell down too. So.
Oh, I was gonna start. I just figured she couldn't get out.
She can't get out, but I just put it back up. I need to drill it in anyways. So.
Might have made a good platform and made it flat.
Do you need any more water? Are we good on water?
Is the water still running?
The water is still running.
Okay, because I gotta get the guys outside.
Oh, did you see I found the blue thing? Okay. We had lost the, we had lost. It was sitting out back by Sylvia. I must have done it, maybe. So. Okay, good. Well, that's all accomplished. Let's walk out to the field real fast just because it's been a little while since you guys went with me out to the field. Let's go out to the field but yeah, brainstorming. By the way, anybody that's watching this, you want to join the Discord. Yeah, the Discord does not, the xdrfirefly.gg/xdrfirefly currently is not working. So you can't do that. They'll be in the description below, or someone will post a link to the Discord at some point. But if you want to join the Discord, join our Discord. It's fun. Hang out with us. You know, we can brainstorm lots of ideas for those that want new ideas. That's what we need. That's the other thing about your dream, is it's good to have, not only to have mentors, but have a support staff, people around you that want to cheer you on with your business ideas, cheer you on with your dreams, cheer you on with your stuff, or maybe even be realistic with you a little bit, like, yeah, buddy, not sure, you know, give it a shot, but I'm not sure it's the best idea. Might not work as good as you think. So it's something, you know, some honest friends to keep you in check. Because it's easy to get preoccupied, or easy to go a little too zealous on things when maybe you just need to be grounded a bit. Or it's also fun to have cheerleaders. It's also good to have people cheerleading you. I'm actually going to walk out here. I'm going to tell you what the plan is for next year, because I've been working on it. I'm going to try to make a PDF on this project, because I'd like to document it. And I'll show you what I want to do and how I'm going to do it, and then maybe explain it to you. So I have my row gardens because I really like row gardens. They're easy to rotor-till, they're easy to weed, they're easy to walk between, mow between. So I like the concept of the row garden. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows here. And I have the pine trees as a windbreaker. So what I'm doing is I'm taking graph paper and I'm doing a 4x4 graph paper, and I've got this pretty much measured out on how big it is. And so I've got this all gonna ready to be graphed out, ready to go. And I'm going to mark in what's here and mark in what I'm planning on putting here, and we're gonna do what plants need what. And then we're going to talk about what we planted, how well it did, what kind of augments we did to each of the soil plots, so that from this point forward, all of these garden plots are going to be well documented, and we're going to know what works, what doesn't work, and have a little documentation on it. It's kind of the plan. Because like right here, this row right here with the blue, that's all asparagus. And the asparagus actually does pretty well. I'm very excited because some of that asparagus will be in the ground now for 4 years. So should be very excited to see how that turns out. So you can see the clouds rolling in. Let's go, we're gonna go down, check the water, because Lisa did ask me if the water was running, and I can't remember if I unplugged it or not, so we're gonna go check on that. And then after that, I think we're going to head in, because my fingers are getting cold. I wanted to go for this little walk. It's always fun. It's always fun to explore around and see what's going on on the farm, in the yard. Plus, it's fun to look back on this. What I really like doing is when I planted all of these pine trees, I remember when they were tiny little baby pine trees, and it's fun to look back on just seeing what they look like now over the course of like 15, I think I planted these like 15, 16 years ago. It's just fun looking back and seeing what they've done throughout the course of my life. very fun. Highly suggest if you have some property, as soon as you have some property, plant a bunch of trees, just because it's really cool to see how trees are very, very quickly changed. It's just really cool to see how trees completely change your landscape, and it's just a fun, easy thing to see and watch it grow and tell stories and point it out to your friends and just show how cool it is. Sounds like the water's still running. The water is still running. Good. Good, good, good. So let me go check on Miss Lisa. Oh, guys, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see, but I can actually walk on the ice that's right here. I can walk on it. So that might mean, what that might mean, guys, is maybe later this week or tomorrow or something, we'll go out to the pond and we'll go for a walk on the pond. And those that have been following me for a long time knows what happened last time I walked on the pond. Hopefully this time it won't, but if it does, you'll at least be able to hear the cracks and you'll learn another lesson. But going for a walk on the pond will be fun. Do you need me to help you with anything else, Lisa?
I don't think so. You still got water on?
Yeah, water's still on. I didn't turn it off.
Yeah, half an hour.
Okay.
Ralphie stays in the back corner of the barn now.
Okay.
I put water and food back there because he...
That's where he was at?
Oh yeah, he probably hasn't left that spot since last night. It was pretty thirsty. But that's okay. He's back here.
Okay. Sylvia seemed to like all of her hay.
Huh?
Sylvia seemed to like all of her hay.
Probably like more.
I gave her at least a pretty good amount.
I know, but she'd probably take all the hay.
She probably would take all the hay. Okay, guys, well, it's getting cold. My fingers, I'm starting to not feel them, so it's probably a good idea that I head in. So anyways, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and chatting with me and hanging out with me as we did some of the chores and philosophized and all the other good stuff. So, okay, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Hope everybody stays nice and warm. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Oh, by the way, if cool, crazy weather things happen, I'll be jumping on here and on Instagram to do updates. So look for those if you like crazy weather patterns. Anyway, friends, it's Doc. Till tomorrow. Adios.